And we are live. Hey, what's up, everybody? It is the new reality, and it is our second season. Here we go on YouTube.
Are you freaking kidding me? Let's freaking do this, Cody.
Bro, I am so excited. We really want to push our second season. We really want to just get everything out there. We want to go on YouTube. We want to make more YouTubes. And I think we're actually going to stick to the YouTube lives, right?
Yeah. It's all about stepping up the game. You know, it's kind of funny. We were looking at some of our old videos, and it was really interesting to see how we drive to just have a much better platform this season. I hope you guys enjoy what we have in store for you guys.
We were looking at our older videos, and they were just complete trash. Like, they just weren't good at all.
We might have to do some editing at one point, but screw it. Yeah, we're all about being raw.
Yeah, and I'm glad we're doing this now. Again, this is our first YouTube live, so bear with us. But we have a very, very awesome show for us. We are going to be interviewing the celebrity psychic medium Raymond. So we're super stoked about this. Shawn's known him for a long time. I've known him for a long time.
What's amazing is we've had a couple of investigations. Yeah, I want to say about 2 years ago, we had a couple of investigations. I got a reading from him. What was funny is, he went through some tragedy, and I think, we all go through our tragedies, but, something about his story I was drawn to. So I kind of watched how things were going and how he was kind of getting through all of his struggles. And I reached out to him to get a reading, and it was amazing. His reading actually was very helpful for my growth. I had some, at that point I was trying to figure out what am I doing with myself? I'm working at a place I'm really not happy.
Figure that out.
Yeah, I know, but I want to say he was which way do we go, George? But anyway, he's really helped me with as far as just validating what I felt inside, and really just kind of helped me. He pushed me along. Just very beautiful, encouraging words, and it was very, from the soul, right? So, and I had to tell Cody about this reading because, he hit some really, really solid points, which was really exciting. And I had told Cody, hey, you got to get a reading from this guy. He's amazing.
No, and absolutely. Sorry about my weird face. I'm doing this new thing with the comment system, and I guess it pops up online, so that's actually really cool. And just to sidetrack too, everybody who's coming in right now, feel free to ask questions to either Shawn, myself, or Raymond. We're going to introduce Raymond right now, but I did want to touch on, Shawn told me he's all, man, I got this reading from this guy named Raymond. You need to check him out. And at the time, I was kind of just going through my own struggles, right? Kind of not really knowing which way I should go. And absolutely, I got the same feel that Shawn did. Like, I was instantly drawn to him, and I really needed to reach out. And he nailed every single aspect of my life. But what's funny about that is when he gave me the reading, I didn't really take to it. It kind of took me some time to really realize what he was actually talking about.
It's almost like your life aligned with it because he understood it early.
Absolutely.
And it was kind of funny going back to, holy cow, we've done some really cool investigations, and one was the Glen Tavern Inn. I reached out to him. I'm going, hey, so I got this blue mass next to my leg, and did we have that on our Instagram?
I'm not sure.
I think we do. It's deep in it, but there was a blue mass next to my leg, and I said, hey, Raymond, what did you get from it? And he freaking nailed it. He goes, I keep seeing a head, but not a body. I'm like, well, that room, there was a decapitation. So yeah, of course there wasn't. And then he also pulled out the guy that was a cheater, and he was, gambling. It was just, again, just out of fun. I mean, we talk and we really, we're brothers, we're close. And I think he saw what I was about, and I understood what he was about. So it was really fun to just kind of bounce things off of him, and he's just so spot on. I can't.
Well, hey, enough of us talking, right?
Yeah.
Raymond, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Thank you so much, Cody and Shawn. Shawn, you're amazing. Cody, you're amazing. I love what y'all are doing. Thank you so much for having me tonight. For everyone that is on, Sarah, Ryan, Ron, everyone, thank you so much for being here. And those of you that may be looking at this broadcast a little bit later, thank you so much for being here. I don't know what to say, but other than, my life path hasn't been the typical life path that a lot of, mediums have. I guess we're all different in some kind of way, but we're all the same. And so the things that you touched upon, Shawn, really touched home. You're like a brother to me. And Cody, you're like a brother to me as well. I'm so grateful that I'm able to do what I do, using my spiritual abilities to help humanity, to elevate consciousness, to create a community where we all feel comfortable, because I feel like we're in that zone right now in the 2020, you know, where there's a lot of more attention coming to the paranormal and trying.
Well, that's what I wanted to get at, Raymond, is I feel like there's a spiritual family that's coming together. And I want to say, as soon as you and I met, I knew that there was a connection there. And again, you know what I mean? We knew. And again, I think it's, again, like you're saying, and I'm sorry to interrupt, but it's all about the transition, right? It's all about what the energy's doing right now. And it's amazing that we're coming together. Just sorry to interrupt, but I had to say.
No, absolutely no. I don't mind at all. I think, you know, it's just great that we have this forum and we can get this, you know, get across to so many people that would not, you know, normally tune into, like, let's say a paranormal TV show. A lot of people are now, you know, what they're saying now is that YouTube is the new Hollywood, quote unquote. So. So, like, really, truly,
it's unfortunate,
right? I mean, like, we're the stars of our own show, but in reality, you know, I feel like what you guys are doing and what the message that you're sending, I'm 100% behind that. I respect it because it's not easy. First and foremost, I think people see a lot of the ghost hunting shows, you know, on TV, and they're like, oh, it's so easy just to go with an EVP recorder, or, you know, go there and it's fine, you know, it's all fun and games. But at the end of the day, it's really, it's draining. It can be dangerous. And, you know, there's a lot of, that you're putting yourself at risk.
Right. There's multiple days. Like when we go on an investigation that's really, really active, it takes days to recover from that, right? Because we're all sensitive here, right? All three of us here.
And you know, just to touch on that too, like, you know, we just went to the Queen Mary, right? And we didn't really get a lot, but man, I'm drained from it.
Yeah, it took 2 days, right?
It does drain you. My first experience on that, I don't know if I'm jumping ahead.
No, go with it.
Was at the Yorktown Memorial Hospital. For those of you that are not from Texas, it is in Yorktown, Texas, and it is an abandoned hospital. And, you know, me being a psychic medium doesn't change the fact that I'm still skeptic when it comes to certain things. And I wanted to see for myself firsthand, you know, if all of this hype about paranormal investigation was actually true. Even though I deal with spirits daily, it's different when you actually put yourself in a place that's super haunted. Now, the fact that I am a psychic medium, I have protection, and I do a lot of things in my home to keep spirits out. So I'm not like in a territory that's foreign to me. So when I went to this place to investigate it, I did something wrong. I shouldn't have gone by myself to do the investigation, but I didn't have anybody else to go with at the time. So I decided to go.
Raymond, next time you need to call the new reality. I'm just saying, sorry.
And let me tell you, I actually have it on my YouTube channel. It is on my YouTube channel. You can look at the footage, but I can tell you from experience that it's no bullshit. Like, it is real. This is real. And I got so sick. I only got to make it. That hospital's like 2 floors, but it wraps around. It's a huge facility. I only got to make it to the 2nd floor, and maybe just a little bit without. And immediately I was sick like I've never been sick before. I was having heart palpitations. I was feeling like I was being strangled. I had to get out of there. And if I would have pushed myself, I think I would have collapsed right then and there. And I don't know if I would be alive sitting here right now. But
let me ask you, Raymond, because, you know, Cody and I go into a location, and they are the places where nobody really wants to go. And there's this fear that there is this negative entity. Is it that Cody and I have not run into the real negative energy yet? Or is it something to do with how we're dealing with the protection? I guess I'm not sure, because I think maybe because we've run into some ugly things, and I have had an attachment, and but I really feel strong with my protection. Is it just something that we have not run across yet, or? I
think it's something that you haven't run across yet, and it's not just that you haven't run across it. I think when you're more than one person together, it creates this protection that's kind of amplified by one person. So I would recommend always to anyone looking at this and wanting to do a paranormal investigation, never think that you are man or woman enough to go in by yourself.
Right. Boom.
It's actually the number one rule. Like, you need to go with the person. Don't be a hard ass. Don't go by yourself.
anything
well
can
said.
happen. And let me tell you, I feel also like, you know, everybody's going to have different experiences, but when you're talking about like a haunted hospital, anything that's a penitentiary, an asylum, an abandoned hospital, there has been a lot of death in these places, and that is like penetrated into the actual atmosphere. It's like a psychic imprint, and what it creates like all that death. If you're a medium, we channel death, we process that. You're being hit by all of that. But then apart from that, this place was also it was also like an asylum for a while. And not only that, but they had
illness.
Yeah, they had a lot of people that were breaking in doing satanic rituals there. So you talk about all of that compounded in a very quiet, isolated place. When they see a human going in, whether you're a male, female, psychic or not, they're seeing like a buffet in front of them. That's how a lot of malevolent dark energies they see it like a buffet. And they're going to go straight towards you because you're their buffet, you're their energy. And a lot of you out there, like Shawn, Cody, have y'all had experiences where your batteries are drained or your
a lot?
Almost every time we go out to an investigation, that happens.
We've had the last two. We've had a lot of battery drain. We went to the the Yucaipa Museum. That place was draining all of our batteries, and that's where if we have a YouTube that's out there where you can actually watch a mass try to I guess it was trying to manifest right next to us, which was amazing. But all our batteries kept draining, and it was really strange. Even our REM pod would go in this weird ringing mode.
I don't know if anybody's familiar with the REM pod. I don't know if you are, Raymond, but
yes, I am.
Yeah, so it's supposed to work a certain way. This thing was doing whatever the hell it wanted, and it was bizarre. I've never heard anything like it before.
Kind of like cylinder and has like red dots and they light up.
Different colors. So it was funny because I made a joke about it in that YouTube. It's like, am I buying some cheap ass batteries or something draining our batteries? So it really, a little bit of both. Yeah, it was probably a little bit of both. But you know, I knew that I replaced the batteries that were in it. But again, we kept getting a lot of battery drainage in that location. Right. And I picked up. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, yeah, that's like, you know, we are like humans are like a battery. And even though we don't consider ourselves like that, we're going to get drained physically if you're in a dark place like that. And I went into this investigation having protection crystals, sage, you know, all that. And those are just like temporary band-aids. But the danger is really real, not to create any kind of fear here. As long as you are protected, you know, and you go in with somebody else, your chances of not experiencing like what I experienced are a little bit less, you know, than going in by yourself. Never do that. I will never do that again. I learned my lesson.
Yeah, I want to say that, you know, again, you've known Cody and myself. There's been a level of when we come together, there's a high energy with both of us. You know, I truly believe that we do bring in this amazing protection. And we do, I hate to say it, we put ourselves in vulnerable positions. We do like separate ourselves to have the experience. I think, again, if something happens, and I just had this conversation because in town when I was in town with, anyway, a friend of mine, and we were talking about, you know, not, you know, being overconfident that you're protected. And I told her, you know, honestly, if something happens and it causes me grief or it causes, you know, some kind of issue, it's a growth opportunity, because we are in line with what we're supposed to be doing. We are, do I dare say, light workers? We are we're at what am I trying to say here? We're at service.
Your exposure or risk.
Yeah, we're at service, and those things are opportunities for growth. And maybe I'm just
no. I mean, I agree with you because everything that happens in life, and I'm sure you can contest to this, Raymond, but everything's an experience, right? Good, bad, or indifferent. It's all an experience, and it's about how you live that experience. You know what I mean? If a lot of people, they like to, I'll just use a stupid little generic term, but a lot of people, let's say they get fired from a job or something like that, and they think it's the end of the world. I mean, well, on face value, it might look like that, but there could be something greater on the other side.
The beauty that comes of it, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I think we're supposed to have those experiences. And again, you're a teacher, Raymond. You're out there to teach the spiritual world to figure out how we're doing. I think all three of us are. But you know, it's awesome to have you here.
Thank you. I'm just so excited that we can, you know, interact with the audience. If they have any questions, you know, about the spirit realm itself, feel free to ask us. I'll be more than happy to answer, like, you know, maybe questions that you have about ghosts and spirits, and Shawn, Cody, whatever y'all want to talk about, let me know.
I'm gonna post a question up on the screen right here. Let's have Raymond answer this one.
Awesome.
Ryan Thomas, what are some of the ways you guys protect yourself from the darker entities? For me, it's going to be prayer to Archangel Michael. Solidly with Archangel Michael. I know that Shawn and Cody do too. I also work with selenite and black tourmaline. I believe in all other kind of crystals, but those two are very specific because black tourmaline kind of transmutes energy, gets rid of it, and, you know, makes it positive. And then selenite deals with the angelic realm. So if you are asking for angelic protection, that's what you're going to need to use. You know, and just envisioning yourself in a white light. You know, a lot of people, that's kind of like putting up an invisible shield. It takes visualization, but it really does work. And the list goes on. There's so many other things.
And that's, you know, that's something too we can touch on, is protection is a huge part of this field. Even the psychic mediums in the room, it's a huge part of what you guys do and what we do, you know. And Shawn's pointing at me, so we'll talk about that later. Anyway,
Cody's in work, I'll tell you that.
But
right, Raymond?
there's a lot of stuff you can do, and don't just use, you know, what we use for protection. You can use whatever resonates with you, essentially.
Yeah. Put your power into where your belief system is, because that's where it's at. Yeah, you're a divine light.
And not being fearful, because I think that's so important. Not giving into fear. When you start giving into fear, you're lowering your vibration and you're opening yourself to whatever, you know, that's negative out there. So like when I went into this investigation, I know I'm just constantly talking about it. I was not fearful, and even though I was, but I didn't want them to know, the spirits to know that I was fearful. So I maintained calm, cool, and collected, even if I was sick and I got sick and I had to leave it. I never lost my cool, and that's very important, I feel.
Yeah, I think they take advantage of that, right?
Yeah. Well, they feed off the negativity. If anybody watched any scary movies, they feed off fights, they feed off negativity, they feed off basically anything. And they actually, you know, Hollywood, I will say, they actually depict negative and malicious or demonic spirits actually very accurately. So
but in my mind, you know, a lot of these movies show that evil has the overall strength. I don't believe that at all, because I know the light works.
No, it does. I think as far as showing, you know, what those movies show, obviously they're there to get viewers, right? They're there to just, you know, that's what sells. But no, Shawn is right. Like light does prevail, at least from what we know.
And going back to what Raymond said, you know, a lot of these shows, they over exaggerate
and they over sensationalize things and kind of make them to sell because it's ratings and views.
Raymond, here's a question for you right now. I'm gonna pop up on the screen.
Ryan Thomas, when did you know you had a stronger connection to spirit? Was there a pivotal moment? Absolutely. I was born a natural psychic medium, so I've always had paranormal experiences since a little child. But I have to say, going into my teens and early adulthood, mainly the 20s, I shut that off because I had to work. I was in college. And all that, you kind of socially condition, you shut that off. The big turning point for me was at age 32 when I had my near-death experience and I crossed over and came back. I had a heart attack, which I don't talk about a lot. That was life-altering and changing. That's when I knew that I had a destiny to help people in this kind of manner. And my gifts that I had as a child, which were very active and very heightened, were even like super heightened after the near-death experience. So I came back differently and more aware and more in tune with spirit.
My jaw is dropping right now because I had 2 near-death experiences when I was much younger. Head trauma, and I knew something happened there because when I found myself going into meditations and really going into a divine space, and it was the same thing as I was growing up. There's all this stuff that kept coming up. And I kept feeling like I died. Well, I had a drowning where I saw light and then I blacked out. And all of a sudden, it was like a moment. I had a hand come out into the water and grab me. It was like a golden hand. It was all lit and pulled me out of the water. I don't remember a time period, but I was young. I was probably, I want to say I was probably in 8 or 9, 10 years old. And then first grade, I fell off a slide and hit concrete head first. And I was on the top.
Wow.
They thought I was going to die.
Now,
but apparently,
did you slide down and hit head first, or did you fall off?
No.
Slide?
I was on the steps and I was second, or I was the next person to go. And the guy that was on the top took and pushed me back.
Asshole.
And backwards, I hit concrete, and I woke up when the ambulance was coming in the yard. I was in first grade.
Oh, wow. I'm so sorry you had to go through that. Would you say, Shawn, that like after that experience did you suffer from any panic attacks or anxiety for a long period of time, or like during, the years that followed?
Well, so I this will be a bucket at one point. I had a really, really, really ugly childhood. So I hate to say it, but I think a lot of those things helped me become who I am today. Right. So it was just all a part of my life. I didn't know anything different, but this is life, right?
Yeah, I know that the trauma actually triggers spiritual abilities, and it opens you more to the spirit world because you have had these hardships. It changes a person's consciousness. It makes you more aware of the world around you and your surroundings. Yeah.
So I had I don't know if you've ever heard of Lilydale.
Yes, Lilydale. I love that in New York.
Yeah, I love it. I've been there twice doing a Lisa Williams
spiritual development
course.
Yeah,
it was a development course. It was a workshop, but she really, like, I went there and she was the one that kind of like told me, hey, you've had these near-death experiences and this is why, like, the head injury made you stronger. I was already seeing spirit, but I didn't know any better. Like, I'm going into libraries looking at ghost books and UFOs and didn't understand why. And I guess, I was seeing spirit young, but I didn't understand it. I was just doing my thing,
Yeah, and Lisa is an amazing medium. My friend Michelle White Dove actually is a teacher there in Lilydale, and so I have been thinking about going one of these days, but I haven't been there yet. But it's a nice community where mediums live there. Also, Chef Jordan, he's a chef. I can't even talk. He's a chef there in Lilydale, and he's really cool. So it's a really, really great place.
Lilydale, I really need to go there because it keeps popping out. It's kind of like Sedona, and Sedona's a fantastic place.
The energy there is phenomenal. Like, it's all about fairy tales. It's just a different. We're
not talking about fairy tales.
Well, it was kind of like a fairy tale.
Here, I'm gonna pop a little I can't talk. I know. A question up on the screen. This is from Ryan Thomas to us. How did you guys meet each other? Have you always been interested in spirit? You want to take that away?
Yeah, absolutely. So I want to say, I started a meditation. Well, I didn't start a meditation group. I was in a meditation group with Cody's uncle. When I saw Cody, we were at a lake in the area, and I looked over at Cody's uncle, Tim. I said, "Who's that guy across the way?" He goes, "That's my nephew, Cody." I said, I'm supposed to work with him. That was 12, 13 years ago. We knew at that point there was a draw. I can go ahead and let you tell about like what your experience was with me.
Yeah, there was for sure a draw. I didn't really get the draw when I first met Shawn at that park, where you saw me. It was more during the actual meditation. So we're all doing, like Shawn said, we're all in this meditation group, and for some reason I wanted to sit in front of Shawn. Didn't know why. I thought meditation's weird. I still really do. Sometimes it's all weird.
You're weird.
But so I'm sitting in front of Shawn, and in my mind's eye, I see a lion come out of Shawn, and it blew me away because I'm like, what the hell is this? Like, what am I seeing? Is this my imagination? What am I seeing? I have no idea. I went up to my cousin later, and I'm like, hey, because she's been doing this a lot longer than I am, and she's weird too. So I'm like, hey, I just saw this lion come out of Shawn, and she's like, wow, really? That's weird on your first time. And I said, yeah, I don't know what the hell it means. Well, I know it now to mean I was looking at Shawn's spirit guide, and that's actually what is your spirit guide, right?
What's funny is Cody didn't tell me that until 11 and 3/4 years later that he had this experience.
Yeah.
And I'd already got a lion tattoo on my arm, and my house is full of lions, and hawks are a big thing as well. But like when he said it, I'm like, really, dude? Like, I had this draw. So yeah, it's a spirit animal for sure. it's all about strength and courage, because life's hard, and it's, you know, having that strength to keep moving on and having the courage to step in front of a bunch of people and do something that you're not confident about. You know, that's life. And that's the lion in me. I'm not going to stop fighting. I'm here to make a difference.
I love that about you. That was good. And Cody, and I love that the fact that y'all don't give up. And it's like everybody pictures, I think, when you see a celebrity psychic medium, or just a psychic medium, or a well-known person on TV, you know, a lot of people think they have this picture perfect life, but in reality, the reality of it is that we go through.
Did you say the new reality, or sorry?
No, I'm just subliminally dropping those names there. The reality of it is, the new reality is that basically we all have struggles. We're all human beings, and we go through struggles. And you may not see it in front of the camera, but at the end of the day, we all bleed the same, and we all go through that stuff.
Social media is the biggest facade out there. Everybody is just putting up their perfect life, and it just doesn't exist.
Yeah, this is real, guys, and we're here to bring you guys the real and help you guys. Yeah, we're here to, you know, Raymond, you're at service. Obviously, you're giving readings, and all of those readings are healing. I got the opportunity to have that healing that helped me along and push me where I need to be, as well as Cody. You know, we're given these gifts to help people in society know that, you know, what we're hearing on TV and the news is just bullshit.
It is. It is all propaganda.
I'll say that again. It's bullshit.
It is. It really is. And that's why what I like to do, and why people question, like, why do I do celebrity readings? You know, why am I so focused on that? Because a lot of the stuff that you think you knew about celebrities and all this bullshit, like Shawn said, that's fed to us, is our lies. And they are lies that have been cover-ups because they're protecting themselves. I think there was a question as Sarah Smith. Cody, do you want me to answer that?
Yeah, I'll bring it up right now. There you go.
Hi, Sarah. And she asked, how can you tell the psychic is the real deal? I've met so many. How can you tell? Okay, the first thing that there's a lot of things I'm going to talk about on this. First thing is that they tell you that there's a curse on you. That's a red flag given right away. You will know through word of mouth. You will also know by your vibration, your energy that's drawn to that person, how you feel. If you've taken an interest on someone that is calling themselves as a psychic, you'll know. Also, make sure that they have a website. Make sure that they have testimonials. You know, you're going to find places, or you're going to get around people that talk shit basically about psychics because they had a bad experience with that psychic. To discredit that psychic doesn't mean that they're fake, but everybody reads energy differently. But you'll know when you have a psychic reading, because that psychic is going to hit certain things that's not on social media, things that cannot be looked up, only that things that you know, things that you think about in your own brain. And those are I guess that's how I see it. You know, that's how you know if it's a real psychic. You're going to know. It's not going to be so generic. It's going to be specific.
Right. You're not fishing, right? You start hitting, like, when I do readings, it's really right to the heart. Like, they become very emotional because the loved ones are coming in to help heal. And I always say that when I start a reading, it's like, listen, you know, what you need to hear at the time you're hearing it is what you need. It's about the healing process. And 9 out of 10 times, it's right where the person, they needed to hear it at the time they needed to hear it, right? And so they know once you feel it, once you say the things you need to say, right?
Exactly. Stay away from, like, people that claim that they have, you know, that they can, you know, that you need to keep coming back for a cleansing or things like that. Yeah. You know, a psychic should be able, or a medium should be able to empower you and to give you the tools to do the work yourself. It's not about making you in this codependent relationship with a psychic where you're just coming back to them constantly to make your life decisions. If you're feeling like you're being crippled by, you know, that psychic advisor or spiritual advisor, then they're probably are preying upon you in some way.
Awesome, Raymond. Awesome. Well put.
It's for you, Raymond. Talia.
Sparkles. Hey, Talia. She's so sweet. She says, I just wanted to say you're amazing and have continued to help me out my spiritual journey. Thanks for your Patreon lessons. Thank you so much. Guys, if you're not aware, Cody and Shawn, may I share my Patreon?
Absolutely. Please.
So I am teaching psychic and mediumship classes. For those of you that are not aware, I have a lot of content on my YouTube channel, but I'm doing it on Patreon now. So that way I can help people specifically. It's $1.99 per month, which is nothing. I'm not about tiers and like other Patreon people. I'm not talking crap about them. I think that's great if they have tiers and whatnot, but I wanted to keep it accessible, cheap for a lot of people that are struggling, that want to get their gifts and hone onto those gifts better. So Patreon, it's patreon.com/psychic medium Ray. My YouTube channel is youtube.com/psychic medium Ray. My website is raymondguzman.net. So basically anything with psychic medium Ray. A little @ sign in front of it.
Again, here I am telling you guys, this guy is legit. He has an amazing gift. Again, you know, really recognizing to be at service, and that's what we're about. It's about being at service. It's about helping
himself, guys. And I don't think he gives himself that much credit, because I've actually, like I said, we're pretty close, and I've had moments where I discuss things with him, and he's helped me heal a lot, just like by talking to him, and he gives me insight as well. So, you know, if you're looking for a good psychic medium, I definitely recommend Shawn. You know,
we can call it the Mountain Man Medium.
Mountain Man Medium, yes.
Yeah. So, and actually, just bringing that up, you know, I ended up doing a platform deal during Halloween, and it was my first real official platform. And I gotta say that I was very nervous, but once Spirit came in, you know, I was there for 2.5 hours, and it was just a beautiful opportunity for several ladies to heal. It was amazing. Yeah. Cause the owner of the business basically made a spot for me in her business to do readings now. And that's in the town of Wrightwood, San Bernardino Mountains. And, you know, we'll post, you know, a contact if you guys want a reading. I'll do a reading for you.
I love that. I want to share a story because it's so funny. When I go places, like I travel out of town to San Antonio, Texas, or Houston, and I'll go shopping at these spiritual shops for like books, cards, and things like that. When I go in there was one experience recently. I went into a shop in San Antonio, and I wasn't planning on being like Teresa Caputo, reading people, you know, going up to people and just saying, hey, I have a message for you. But it happened that one of the shop owners' husband, he was helping me find some cards that I wanted to get. And I started giving him a reading. And then from there, like, there was another Black lady that was there as well. And she was so cool, so sweet. And she heard what I was telling him. I guess she was eavesdropping, and she wanted me to give her. And then I had my driver waiting there on the outside. It was a friend of mine that was there, and he had to come in to literally pull me out, because it was taking like almost 30 minutes after I had just finished my shopping, just helping people. But I love doing that because, you know, it's the healing. Like Shawn said, it's the messages that you give. You can't put a price tag on that. It's healing for yourself. For me personally, when I give messages and then I get that validation, you know, Ray, you were right about this. You were right about that. Yeah. It's not to stroke my ego, but it's validation that Spirit is real. The connection to Spirit is real, and that this is real, you know.
Motivating. Yeah, it's like, okay, like we talked briefly before we did the podcast about a reading I did yesterday. You know, I'm not gonna lie. You know, sometimes I can look at a person and kind of read their body language and what I'm telling them. And I realized with this gentleman last night that he wasn't a person I could read. So I had to really just surrender to Spirit. And this man got a reading better than a reading I've ever given. And it was just amazing to see this man totally change who he was in a moment. It was amazing.
That's amazing. Well, you're amazing, so it doesn't surprise me.
I appreciate that.
He's okay. Come on.
You know, I'm trying to build myself up to say I'm amazing, but yet I want to say, yeah, definitely Spirit was there, and it was an awesome experience for sure.
Here's a question for you, Raymond.
Hi, Sarah. Sarah says, Ray, do you believe everyone is born with psychic abilities? Yes, I love that question because I can expound on that. Basically, we all have a certain level of intuition, but what sets us apart is that a lot of people, hi Kyoko, thank you so much for that comment. She says, I enjoy the interview. What sets us apart is that a lot of people have grown up in a religious system. We've grown up in social conditioning. We've been told that if you have any kind of gift of discernment, if you have any communication, it's the work of the devil. And religion has played a major part. And I'm not trying to talk bad about anybody that's religious here tuning in, but it has played a big part in shutting down people's gifts. But the fact is, like, when you have those gut instincts, we have the Super Bowl coming up. Maybe you're going to be betting on a team to win the Super Bowl. That thing is like a guess. It's like, you know, you're guessing, but really and truly, if you got it right, it's not you guessing. That's your intuition. And if people have it, we use it every day when we go. Sometimes you have an instinct that this place that you're going to go to is not a good place. And then you go there and then something bad happens. Listen to your instincts. It's sometimes that we don't listen to what our intuition is telling us, that things go bad, and we learn the hard way.
And we're creative beings, right? So when we create in our minds what we think is reality, we create that.
Absolutely. We're creators of the universe. So anything that we want to manifest, we can make that happen. It's just a matter, you know, when I give readings, I think a lot of people think that I'm a fortune teller because how the way my gift works, I can see certain things that are future oriented, but I'm not a fortune teller. And the thing that I tell people is that the future is unwritten. Even though I give you an energetic snapshot of what I see, you can use what I give you today to change it for tomorrow and beyond.
We still have free will.
Yeah, free will. Absolutely. Cody said it.
Nailed it.
It's okay. We get our names mixed up all the time. Go ahead.
We're one of the same, you know, right and left. The new reality.
We got it.
No, it's amazing. Again, like the similar perspectives. Again, when you have spirit close and you understand, we understand it's the real, right? We're all, you know, going back to religion, and I don't want to go into deep, but you know, that's really what helped me start exploring what I didn't understand. Why was I feeling spirit around me so close when we were singing? You know, and I would feel like where the energy around me would bring tears to my eyes. And now,
like, about like people, and I'm sorry to interrupt you. Like when people say, you know, they're going to church and I feel the Holy Spirit here, that spirit guys that they're feeling, but it's in a different way. They see it in a religious context that, oh, it's the Holy Spirit, but it's not different. Like when you think of Jesus, I talk about that too. Jesus had the ability to talk to God. God was spirit. God wasn't man. That is a connection. But I think that there's a lot of things in the Bible that are just written in a different way and have been translated over the years by many people that we've lost the premise of what spirituality is and what is spirit.
Can I just say, those guys get down more than anybody I can even know. Like, they freaking rock it. You know what I'm saying? Right. I was going to intimidate or, you know, try and do what they, I don't want to do it.
Yeah. You're like, oh my God, what are you doing?
So Raymond, I did want to, since we're talking about this, and this kind of coincides with my question here. So, you know, you said you really dived into your mediumship when you turned 32 or whatever. Mm-hmm. And you had that experience. Now, how does your mediumship affect the paranormal, and how does your paranormal affect the mediumship, if that makes sense?
Okay, that's a very good question. Okay, so I would say the paranormal affects my mediumship abilities in a way where it's good to deliver messages, but it can also be harmful for me as a medium because it is energy, and it's like I'm processing death. I'm a physical medium. So if a person died from whatever they died, I'm going to be feeling that through my body. It's going to be making me sick. And the problem with physical mediums is that sometimes when you're channeling spirit, it can take over you in some way and cause you to be extremely sick for days after and develop health issues that were not there. Because again, death process. That's why I don't do too many mediumship readings. I space them out when I do them. I don't like to do 3 or 4 in a day because it's so draining, and people don't get that. But when I first was opening up after my near-death experience to those gifts, there's like a period when you open up, when you have that spiritual awakening and your abilities, like that switch is flipped on. There's like a period of 6 months, I say, that I talk about, where your gifts are like fully on and you can handle a lot of readings and you feel like you're on top of the world. You feel good because you're getting validations left and right. But after that, you get sick, and then you start to realize that you're burning yourself out. And how, I guess, how my gifts affect mediumship, was that part of the question, Cody?
Yeah, absolutely.
how my
you've got me interested talking about physical mediumship. I'm just saying.
Yes, and how my gifts affect mediumship, as I feel like with my gifts, I'm able to bring closure and healing to people who need that healing and need those messages that need to be heard. And it may not be in that same kind of way, but I'm trying to get people to understand that spirit is always around us. When you think of your loved one that's passed away, their soul is with you, even if you cannot see them in that moment.
Can I ask you real quick? And I don't mean to do this to you, but I've had a draw to physical mediumship for as soon as I heard about it. Even when I was a young kid, I used to close my eyes and try to focus on moving things. Do you see that in me?
Yes, I feel like you're capable of it. It's just that I feel like it's going to take you maybe through this work. I'm not going to say it's going to take you time, but through the work itself, I feel like you've already had experiences, but you don't talk about it. But I know that there's going to be more of that happening for you as you get into this more and, you know, start branching out.
Yeah, I kind of saw a couple things that, I'm sorry, go ahead.
What I was going to say is that you've conquered your fear. That's what was holding you back. Like a lot of this that you spoke about already, like conquering a lot of the things that, you know, that were going bad in your life. You've mastered that and you've come to a new level of ascension. So yeah, definitely.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, because it was something that was kind of poking its nose in there. And I'm like, man, that just feels so familiar to me. So
I think you actually have gone through that already.
Yeah, I'm excited about it because again, I did conquer a lot of fears and that's ego, right? That's why we're here. It's all about like the ego thing and not feeling like you're strong enough or understand enough. But no, I feel honored working with the people I work with for sure.
Likewise.
Just real quick, hey, for everybody just tuning in or everybody still here, we are The New Reality, and we are interviewing a celebrity psychic medium named Raymond.
And may I say, if you're not following us, what the hell's wrong with you?
You need to get on that train right now.
And Raymond is amazing as well. And if you're not following him, what the hell's wrong with you?
What rock are you living under? I'm just kidding.
Yeah. You're or some kind of mushroom, or you're doing shroom. I don't know.
Freaking clowns, let me tell you. Here, let me bring up this for you, Raymond. I think I missed it.
That's what we do, my friend.
It's from Ryan Thomas. It's actually for both of us, but go ahead, Raymond.
Okay, so Ryan says, are the spirits that are earthbound typically negative, or are they light beings here as well? No, I don't believe that every earthbound spirit is negative. Now, when we talk about earthbound spirits, for those of you that are not aware of what earthbound spirits are, these are individuals who lived here in life and either their life was cut short either through murder, tragedy, or in some kind of way where their soul stayed trapped here on the physical realm, or they were a living person that had a lot of baggage, a lot of things that were left unsaid, and they had worries, and they're still worried about their loved ones, so they have chosen not to cross over. We are given that.
Just real quick, Raymond, isn't there a part of that? Religion, right? The religion, like I've done a lot of bad things, and now I'm fearful of passing because I might go to hell. Is that part of that as well? Right? I mean, it's a small part of it.
You brought that up. Yes, that's also part of it. So it's like a lot of different factors, but not all earthbound spirits are upset. Like when we transition, we keep a lot of our characteristics and personalities as how we were here in the physical world. So if you are talking about a murderer, a rapist, a child molester, someone that was very negative here in the physical world, they're going to keep those traits in the spirit world when they transition as spirit. And if they stay earthbound, these are a lot of the hauntings that Cody and Shawn are going to be doing, and they're going to encounter a lot of this crap of these spirits that are entities that are haunting these locations and want to cause harm to humans because they hate us because one, we're the light, one, we're living, and they're not. And second, they were just nasty energies to begin with when they were alive. And I've encountered that a lot when I do psychic readings. I've had to help people and give them the tools to remove these entities because they sometimes don't want to go on themselves. That's why I say it's so important. If you are a living person listening to this today and you have a lot of things that have been left unsaid, you've turned your back on your family, you have been holding on to hate against your neighbor for so many years, let that shit go. Let it go, because
so minute
the things that you take with you to your grave, we never know when our time is coming, and when it does happen, those are the things that keep us earthbound, all those problems.
I love that, Raymond. I mean, nailing it, right? I mean, don't it's not worth holding on to stuff. I mean,
I had to put it up there.
Let shit go. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
Line. Let that shit go.
Yeah, I think so many people, we hold on to that, and it not only is a low vibration, but you're wasting your life. You're not being present in the moment. You're not living like the way that it should be, and that is why so many of our so many people come to psychics in the first place, because they're feeling sick. You know, they're feeling tired of the same stagnation and cycles. And again, yeah, you just got to let it go.
It's time to break the cycle, because I mean, humanity is changing. We're all growing as human beings. We're evolving, and the old structured beliefs just don't maintain anymore. It's a collapse. We want more as human beings. We're looking for spirituality and understand our feelings, right? And it's no more with the brain thinking. It's about using our hearts and compassion. Don't watch the news, because it's not real. It's not telling you what's really happening. Yeah. There's a change going on, right? Just saying.
Ray, any advice for empaths in dealing with negative energy? Yes. The best thing as an empath, I'm an empath as well. I know that Shawn and Cody are empaths as well. If you're around someone who's sick and you're an empath and you are feeling sick around somebody, that is your body telling you to respect your space and get away from that person or that place that is negative.
Away.
You can hold space for people. This is what I learned as being an empath. You can hold space and care about people and want to help them, but there are some people that want to latch like energy vampires on you, and they just constantly want to dump on you. They constantly want to come to you with their problems. And if you're a medium or a psychic, chances are they're going to want to come to you for free readings all the time.
Yeah.
So you're going to have to set up boundaries if you're an empath to protect yourself. To me, that's the greatest tool for an empath, is to set up boundaries, and also ground yourself. If you're an empath, grounding yourself means walking barefoot out in the ground with Mother Nature, meditating, using hematite, using other crystals that ground your energy, relaxing your mind, and the list goes on.
Just to touch on that too, because I know Shawn and I harp on this, but your intent is actually everything. Everything you do in this life, it's all about intent. So if you have that intent to set that boundary, you don't even need to say it. You can just set that intent and cut that shit off, you know?
Shut the door, right?
And that's it.
And you know what? That's why my ass lives in the mountains, because I need to ground every day. It's you know, there's something about being sensitive. And all three of us have that. You know, we're super sensitive. We go into a location and we feel people's feelings, right? And it can be overwhelming, especially going into a room when there's chaos. I want so bad to just drive my ass up to my house in the mountains and just get rid of all that. So, you know what I mean? And you hit it, Raymond, as far as, you know, people wanting to just attach. And I know it's a divine, you know, there's a vibration that we all put off as being light workers, if you will, or at service, and people are subconsciously attracted to that because they're searching. I try not to cut them off, you know, too difficult, you know, right at the throat, but like sometimes you have to, because they don't get it.
And like Cody said, it's all about the intent, and you'll be able to tell someone's intent by their energy. Energy speaks volumes. It has a language in itself. And so when you pay attention to what, you know, how you're interacting with someone and what is being given to you, you need to let that be your guiding tool.
Yeah. Nice.
1 second. There
Thanks, Ryan. No, it's been a pleasure. You know, we kind of talked about an investigation. You and I briefly talked about it just earlier today. An investigation we're going to have to deal with in the near future. It was an investigation that we both did, I want to say 5 years ago, and it was a negative energy. We'll go ahead and say it was a demonic, and you know, we were able to clear. I don't want to say we had assistance, obviously, with angels and whatnot. But that entity's back, and it's because of a gifted child. So we didn't get the investigation. We're supposed to have, what was it, 2 Wednesdays ago?
I think it was, it was last Wednesday.
So we want to just, you know, I'm going to reach out to that family, because I want to say that I want to encourage them to get the help before it's too late. You know, because there's going to be a certain point we can't deal with it. It'll be outside of us.
Just to touch on that too, and Raymond, if you have something to add to this after this, but anybody, if you know somebody, or if you even yourself are having these issues, or you think something's happening at your house, something that you can't explain, you just need help, please reach out.
Yeah, we have the tools to help.
Yeah, I mean, how do I want to say this? People like to take things into their own hands, and which is great. That's fine. But there is a good and there is a wrong way to do this type of stuff. Right. And if you don't have the know-how to do it beforehand, you can actually make things worse by doing it yourself. Is what I'm trying to say.
Well said.
Absolutely. And, you know, in the case of what you're talking about, Shawn and Cody, about this case, you know, with the demonic, there's a lot of cases where you can expel a demon from a place or from a person, and that entity can come back. It's almost like you temporarily shut the doors. It's not always permanent, and they can come back if a portal is open or someone is spiritually gifted, like you said. They come back and they try to latch themselves. So it's like, you know, you're dealing with something supernatural, something that is not human, something that is a very vile energy, and it's different. And you know, the thing is, like, I was dealing with a case like this with a friend of mine, and she has a person that it has an attachment, a demonic attachment and whatnot. Those demons typically, when they know, like a person like Shawn and Cody are going in to do that investigation, they have that precognition, they have that awareness before they get there, and they'll do anything they can to stop Shawn and Cody or anybody. I'm just using y'all as an example, to stop that investigation, because they don't like it. They don't like the fact that they're going to be going there and it's going to be a confrontation.
Yeah. And I felt that right away. I felt like, and you said it when we kind of briefly talked about it, you said, they know you're coming. And I knew that what was coming with us. And I knew that, yeah, they should be fearful. And not just of Cody and Shawn, the new reality, but what we're bringing.
No, it's Cody and Shawn, the new reality.
The new reality. but going back to, like, yeah, they're going to try to stop that, because they're trying to take control of a family, and it's a big family.
Yeah, absolutely. And they'll start, like, you know, what they can do to people. And this is not to create fear, but they can start getting into your dreams. They can start affecting other family members in your family, so that, you know, they're kind of trying to be in the big bully to bully you and dissuade you away from doing this investigation.
Yeah, and what happened, like you said, they can get into their dreams. So the boy got another 3 scratches on him when they contacted me and said the daughter was having negative dreams where this thing was coming into her dreams.
Yeah.
I was concerned at that point. I told him when he canceled, I said, listen, you don't want to ignore this. And I encouraged him to contact us, because, I mean, again, this is why we're here. We have been, I don't want to say chosen, because we're not special, but it's a responsibility we have with the abilities we have, to help people that don't understand. Right.
I always recommend, like, if you have a demonic case that you feel like it's going on, have a Saint Benedictine medallion. It is, even though it is coming from a Catholic place or religion, I believe in the power of that. And I actually have to, I wear one as a bracelet here, 24/7. I never take it off. I shower with it and whatnot. I don't know if y'all can see it, but it's a Saint Benedictine in sterling silver, and I never take it off, only because I'm always targeted by these lower level entities.
Can you bring it in again, real, like, center to your face, and then just so people kind of see what you got going on there? Yeah.
It's not, it doesn't always look like this. It's just because it's a bracelet, but you can get it like in a crucifix or just a circle, and it's 2-sided. And what it does has like cruz pacti something. I can't remember exactly. Retero sattanna, but it's in Latin, but what it means is that be gone, you know, evil. And it's like an exorcism medal. And I highly recommend, if you're going through something like that, always, if you're a light worker and you attract dark negative, it doesn't have to be demonic, just negative entities that are once human, that are low vibrations, wear that medallion, you know, along with an Archangel Michael medallion, because those two combined is going to kick their ass.
Yeah, bingo. 100%. Well said.
I do want to, just because this story's fun to tell, and I think it holds value to what you're talking about, Raymond. Shawn, I'm just real quick. Shawn and I did a investigation at a place called Boron Prison.
Oh, amazing! What the story.
And Yeah,
already.
This is a good one.
It's an awesome place. It's completely abandoned. A lot of malicious activity was going on there. Shawn and I got unexplained K2 hits. We got some EVPs, but what I really wanted to touch on was there.
Dude, I think it's important to talk about how he was restricting.
That's what I was saying.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Why you got to cut me off, man?
Sorry, bro.
Damn,
sorry, bro.
no.
Sorry.
So at one point during the investigation, we were in a cell called, I think it was B block, and it was one of the heavy hitters at the time the prison was working. It was one of the, the top dogs, and I started getting constricted around my throat. Like it was really hard to breathe. I felt like something was kind of latching on. So, I did what I did. I reaffirmed my ground, reaffirmed Archangel Michael, and kind of, I didn't want to say got rid of it, but I definitely got it off of me. Well, through the rest of the investigation, because we stayed for about an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours after the fact, but you can still feel it. I still felt it lingering near me, on me.
We kept getting K2 hits around him, no matter where we were going. We followed him.
Yeah, we got a weird mass on one of the little blurps that we were doing with our video camera. So whatever. We finished the investigation. We go outside. And keep in mind, this place has no power. This place has it's just in the middle of nowhere. And we're doing our closing prayer, which is extremely important to do a before and closing prayer. I don't care what type of prayer you do, but you need to do it. It's very helpful. So Shawn and I were doing our closing prayer. We were bringing in Archangel Michael. We brought in all the archangels. And usually what's cool is I let Shawn work the opening prayer for the majority of the time. But I think this time I wanted to try and do it. And, so I was going with the opening prayer, and we were talking. Shawn and I were going back and forth. And then all of a sudden we both had our eyes closed, and we see this light, like somebody put a fog light right above us.
Wow.
Like it was bright. It was extremely bright. And we both opened our eyes, and we're all.
It made like a zap noise. Yeah, like it was almost a pop. And we both like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, we opened our eyes. We looked around like, and I'm a cop too. So I'm like, what the fuck was that? Like, what is going on? And then Shawn's like, that was Archangel Michael. We need to finish this prayer.
We like stopped in the middle.
Like bright golden lights. Y'all brought something up that it triggered my memory, about this case that I went to go and investigate, this Yorktown Memorial Hospital. There's an actual story where this facility, it was wanting to be torn down by the mayor. I believe it was the mayor, they told me, of the actual city. He went to visit the hospital and talk to the owners who acquired it, which is now abandoned, and told them to go ahead and knock it down. They were like, no, we're not knocking it down. It's our place. We're going to stay here. And what ended up happening is that he got so angry. He got in his vehicle, took off from this place. Whatever was there that was demonic, which there's a lot of demons in that place. Wow. He got in the car, he sped down the highway, and his car rolled over and he died.
Oh, wow.
So that's based on a true story. And it's happened in Yorktown, Texas. So like this place is super haunted. It's super demonic. And I had to do what you did. What happened to me when I left and before I started praying, my camera that I had taken to record this vlog actually fell down and it almost broke on me. Wow. It fell out of my backpack. My backpack was in my backpack zipped, and it was unzipped, and it fell hard on the ground. And luckily it didn't break, but that was my sign. I had to go into prayer. And like, people, if you're listening to this, pray to Archangel Michael, do your prayers, Our Fathers, Hail Mary. Well, I don't care what you have to say, but say it, do it, close those gates, because after you leave, you don't want anything coming into attaching itself to you and following you.
Empower your beliefs. Bottom line, empower your beliefs. Archangel Michael, Jesus Christ, God Almighty, Buddha,
Odin, Thor,
whatever. Can we get no science fiction?
hey, Greek mythology, bro, or Norse mythology. That's great.
Whoever,
probably real.
Here you go, Raymond.
So going back just real quick, Raymond, on your comment about him getting he ended up dying because of the demonic, right?
Mm-hmm.
Here's my question. He died from a car accident. My question to you is, now, was that in divine order for him to die from the circumstances?
Honestly, I feel like there are certain things that these beings do to intervene with the divine order. And I'm not saying they're more powerful than the higher power, than God or the universal source, but there are certain things that they can do to try to intimidate others, to try to send a message. They don't have dominion over that person's soul, obviously, but they do trigger certain things to cause fear. And so this story is something that has been circulating for years in that town.
So it's kind of like just somebody sticking a stick in your spokes. You know, hey, this is, you know, bad intentions and causes.
To kind of deter people from investigating or to shut down that place and knock it down.
Yeah.
So can we go there?
Yeah,
because that's right up our alley. So let's do this.
Let's do it. I'm not gonna get, you know, I'm not getting on a bicycle. We're not gonna have things going in with spokes.
Here, I'll bring this up back up for you.
I've heard about vortexes and portals in certain places on the planet. Can you elaborate on that? What are these and how does it affect us here? You have to understand that the Earth, this is a good question. The Earth is ancient. It's old. You're talking about Native Americans. You're talking about dinosaurs. You're talking about all these people that have lived before us, generations before. A lot of people were spiritual beings, especially the Native Americans. And a lot of territory that's in the U.S. predominantly, or in Australia, the Aboriginals, these places are places where they did rituals, or they did bonfires, where you had medicine man communicating with spirit. Those places may already have earthbound spirits of Native Americans, or they have some kind of ancient protection with portals open up to the Native American world, to that energy. You have places where there's been a lot of death, like Gettysburg, like Pennsylvania.
We're going there.
Yeah, those places that have experienced so much death and blood loss, you know, and all of that. Those areas are like super vortexes and areas where portals have been opened. So, yeah.
Here, I got a question for you, Raymond. How about Sedona, Arizona?
Portal, like huge portal, very huge.
Amazing that place is, right? It brings in like fantasy, right? Just gotta say,
you're always talking about fairy tales and fantasies, but I just don't know what to make of it anymore. I really don't.
Hey, leprechauns and magically delicious. You know what I'm saying? No, the place is amazing energetically. Like if you're sensitive, it just like it's like an amplifier, right?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, hold on.
Wait for it.
Freezing. I don't know what it's doing. Oh, well. So Raymond, so do you have any upcoming, I guess, upcoming things that you want to, you know, say out to all your fans, or anything that you have planned coming up that's exciting or whatnot?
Absolutely. I want to thank you first and foremost again for having me on the show. I'm very excited. Maybe, you know, I can bring y'all on as well. I would love to do that on an Instagram live, maybe, or we could do it on YouTube. But you would have to show me, Cody, how to use this thing.
We can help each other because I have no idea what I'm doing.
But I definitely want to do that with you both. And I don't have anything upcoming like right now. I do have a sale going on all of my readings. If you are wanting a reading, you can go to my website. It's www.raymondguzman.net/shop. Go to the shop section. They're all discounted. The turnaround time is 5 to 8 weeks for readings. You will get your reading, and I am doing I do have my Starseed Oracle cards. I did develop these Oracle cards to help people with their spiritual gifts that you can use as like a tool of divination. And so I definitely recommend that you use that as well. But other than that, you know, you can find on my website the news section and stay up to date, or follow my Instagram stories. I'll post a lot of stuff on there. So again,
and Raymond, what is your Instagram so I can put it up on here?
It's at Psychic Medium Ray.
Come on, man. Get with it.
I mean, I don't think I need to put that up. That's easy, right? Psychic Medium Ray. There you go.
No, it's amazing. Again, the advice you've given, Raymond, all the things that you've done. Again, it's an honor to work with you, and I'm glad that, you know, we've met. And again, you've made a big difference in my life, and I appreciate everything you do. And I hope that you continue to do that with the love that you have, because you're a divine soul for sure.
Well, y'all are divine, and I'm really, really happy again to have been here, had the opportunity to share with you on this platform with both of you and the audience. So thank you so much for having. Y'all have an amazing night, and thank you once again.
Thank you, everybody. And you know, just to end this on a happy note, This is the new reality. It's our season 2. We're going to be on YouTube. We're going to be doing crazy investigations coming up. Shawn and I are actually talking with somebody, and we might be doing the Omen House here pretty soon.
Wow. And we're also going to be doing an East Coast trip. We're going to start in Maryland, and we're going to work our way back home.
Eastern State Penitentiary, baby.
We're hoping. We're going to really try. And if you guys have any places that you know that are haunted on the way home to Southern California, hey, contact us on our website. We'd love to do an investigation. Remember, it's probably only going to be about 2.5 weeks, so we got to be able to get across the country in 2.5 weeks. We're going to fly out to Maryland, but we're going to come back on wheels.
But we want to thank everybody for tuning in live again. This is our first YouTube, so bear with us. It will get better as we go. Raymond, thank you for joining us. And
what an honor. What an honor. Thank you, Raymond.
Bye, guys. Have a good night.
You too. Bye.